Hello guys and welcome to Watching Time. Today I have the pleasure to share with you all guys my new addition to the collection, the new Tudor Pelagos for Marine Nationale. This is a very nice piece. I am really happy to have added it finally to the collection and to be one of the lucky ones that at the end are probably going to be getting their hands on this watch. You know, this is the newest release, new collaboration, because it is a collaboration at the end of Tudor with Marine Nationale, so the Navy from France. They have been collaborating for many years, and when I saw the release of this collaboration, I was really enthusiastic. I was a little bit drawn back, definitely, by the fact that I already own at least two Tudor watches that are blue. The black BB58 that you see here and the Tudor Pelagos blue that you see here. This new Tudor Pelagos FXD had to have something more for me to be attracted enough to actually think about getting it into the collection. And I was really dubious about it. You know, the color, is it the same shade of blue? Is it the same size? Will it wear the same? Is it something that I can totally pull compared to my normal Pelagos? And I love my normal Pelagos. I have also the black one. So I have already two Pelagos that are exactly the same, just change the color. That's probably why I am the worst person to say that you shouldn't be buying the same watch. But you know, I was really enthusiastic about the collaboration, and so I went to the retailer. I saw when it arrived. I was waiting if it was possible for me to buy it. I'm really lucky that it was. They have, as far as I know, limited watches, so each reseller, authorized dealer for Tudor are going to receive a few, if not only one of, or none at all in some cases, of this new Tudor Pelagos FXD. So definitely production is limited, and it's also limited due to the let's say, I don't know how to put it. It's not a limited edition, but in the back case, I will show you later, guys, you have MN21. Watches that are going to be produced next year in 2022, they will have MN22 on the back side. So there is a limitless collectible, if you want, appeal on that. And I really like to have the one produced in 2021. So I'm happy for that. So first of all, when I saw it, I said, does it really looks like, or can I replace my Tudor Pelagos? This was my first question as a collector and as an owner of Tudors, and especially the Pelagos blue. And first of all, guys, you can see it here when you are comparing them both side by side, that both of them are a Pelagos, definitely. They have the same DNA. They are almost the same watch, but at the same time, they are not. First of all, and let's go through the difference. I would like to go with all you guys through the difference of this new edition, and at the end, what made me, let's say, pull the trigger on buying it and adding it to the collection, even if it's not exactly the watch that I was, you know, intending to rehab or repropose. So, as you know, first of all, I think here the history. So what's the history behind, not the Pelagos, but the Marine Nationale collaboration? And it was born with a strong collaboration between Tudor and the Marine Nationale that is born with the reference 9401, probably. And we're talking about this 1975, so the 70s. So this is one of the watches that started the collaboration. And if you look at it at the time, it really looked like a Submariner that was just modified in terms of the dial. The bezel that looked like an age, maybe black aluminum, sorry, that has aged with time and become blue. So it had that tropical effect, but it was actually born like that with this blue of the Marine Nationale, and it had the iconic snowflake hands that you see now reproposed in many of the Tudor watches, obviously. So for me, it's a matter from one side of history that's behind, and bear with me on this video. I'm going to be going slower probably because there are a lot of topics that I want to touch, but I will try to be as fast as possible so that you don't get bored during the process. I really hope not. So obviously the first change and difference is the movement. So it's still the empty manufactured movement that Tudor use, only that this one has a date and this one has the no date complication, so it's slightly different. So it sits a little bit flatter also because of the lack of the date wheel, and that permits obviously for a thinner case. We both have watches with an titanium grade 2 case that is very similar in shape in both of them, and that remembers you much more a Submariner, if we want to put it that way, rather than the Black Bay family, for example. Both of them have a good grip bezel that is studied for diving, but I think this is much more of a tool watch compared to the Pelagos normal version, and this is to say a lot. So as you can see, there are differences, for example, in the bezel. These pop up right to your eyes. The bezel, it's much more serrated in the new FXD than in the normal Pelagos. So it has that kind of, you know, I think probably more impressive proposal, I don't know, presentation on the wrist, if we want to put it in another way, compared to the normal one. And it actually looks kind of smaller because the insert is actually smaller by almost a micromillimeter, but it definitely looks smaller also because of all the markings that you will find in this bezel compared to this one. They are all lume, and that's another difference. The lume that is being used in this new version is a new what they call Super Luminova X1 grade, and Tudor is saying that actually this new version that they are using is much more performant than the one used in the older Pelagos. And I don't have the video right now. I'm not going to do a lume video because I don't have the tools at the moment, but I can assure you guys that it actually is. I did a test last night and it's much more brighter and it seems to last also longer. So definitely it's a better performing Luminova that is being used in this new Tudor. I confirm this. The other thing, one of the questions that I had was the size. So from the website, you will see that the Tudor states that both of them are 42 millimeters. So I thought, well, maybe they are exactly the same, but actually they are not in the way they were. So definitely there is a big difference in terms of the lacks and the lack to lack. And the fact that, as you can see, the open space for the strap doesn't go up to the case. It changes totally the dynamics also of the lacks in both watches. And this one tends to go a little bit thinner here and this one wider. So it definitely has a different presence. The other thing is the width of the case. There is a difference definitely in the case width. So this one is going to sit flatter in your wrist compared to the normal Pelagos, and this is really, really appreciated, at least from my side. Obviously, you are lacking here the helium valve, but that's perfectly fine. This is a 500-meter diving watch. This is a 200 one, and that's perfectly fine for the type of things that you want to do with this tool watch. The other thing that we see here is, as I was saying, the size of the case. So this Pelagos is actually a 42-ish full bezel presence. You will feel it. It's a 42. This one, it's not. What I found out is that the bezel that you can actually see in this shot goes over the case here. You see that? also here, and also in this part. So this serrated bezel, very serrated, it looks like the James Bond Rolex Submariner that he used, that he's used as a chainsaw a little bit, yeah. So this one is actually 42.6 millimeters. I measure it. So it's actually bigger than the 42, and surprise, surprise, the case, not taking into consideration the crown part, so I'm not measuring these lugs and the crown, it's actually 40 mil. Guys, this is a big change, because that's what's behind actually for it wearing and sitting much better on even a smaller wrist than the Tudor Pelagos Blue Edition that actually looks very good on my wrist, but I have a big wrist. I have 18 centimeters wrist. So on the smaller ones, it's difficult to take it around, and you will see this piece that it comes out as a heavy chunk. So that's definitely an interesting point. The closure, the clasp of the normal Pelagos, I think is one of the best tool clasp in the market, if not the best, especially for the price point. It has so many functions, so many points of articulation. You can open it in many ways. You can have an extension here. You can change positions. You can, for example, put it in this point, and at that point, the spring are going to be activated to actually give you more flexibility. This is fantastic. And you can see the springs working here. So this is one of the points that I really think Tudor did an excellent job. What you see, actually, it opened here. So I will put it back here on my preferred point. And this is the normal one. So what are we getting with the FXD? So the FXD comes with two NATO straps. And this is a NATO strap-on Velcro strap. Really, really nice, really well made. The quality, it's what we used to with Tudor. It looks to be very resistant. It's standardized to what the Marine Nationale needs. And actually the same pattern and color than the one that was being used for the Black BB58. And here you have a very nice comparison of both watches. And you can see that the blue tone of bezel dial, it's not the same to any of the other two watches. This is fantastic. This clasp is also titanium, and I will have a quick reshot to show you guys how it looks on my wrist and how well it sits on it. So mine closes almost perfect, so that's fine. And you can have here a really, really nice reshot. I really enjoy this strap. I think they have done an excellent job. It's really nice. So as I was telling you guys, the quality is obviously very good. I wanted to showcase you the back of it. And guys, I'm really, really sorry if you are still watching this video. I'm really sorry it's going to be long, but as I was telling you guys, there are many things I want to show you. The back case, MN21, as I was telling you, very nice. Next year, MN22. And as you can see, this is the biggest difference that comes really out when you take the strap. This is a one single forged titanium piece. So this is a single piece. You need to have a greater complexity in terms of building and producing a perfect single piece case rather than having the usual cut, put your pins and whatever that we do in other watches. I think this is an important topic because at the end of the day, I think it's one of the first titanium single block cases that have been done, and Tudor has managed to do an excellent job. The other thing that this watch is going back to the tradition of Tudor of coming with two straps, and it comes with this fabric rubber, they are calling it, and they have really done a good job calling it like that, because guys, it's rubber, it feels very good in hand, very resistant, but I really hope you can see it on the video. I'm gonna try to focus on this a little bit. There it is. The texture and the feeling of it is of fabric. It's of fabric. It's fantastic. It looks great, but it feels in your hand like you're touching a piece of fabric, not a piece of rubber. And I think they have done an excellent job producing this watch in that sense. So, going back to our Pelagos, guys, as I was saying, I am happy. I'm really happy to have managed to get one, and especially to be among the first to be wearing this watch. And I am really happy to add it to the collection. This is another type of watch. The Tudor that I usually wear, it's, you know, it's a nice watch. The titanium strap, I love it. I love how it wears, but as you can see, it definitely wears high on your wrist. And this one, even with a NATO strap, it wears much flatter, much nicer, and definitely has these tool characteristics. The other thing is that the bezel is bi-directional, so you can change it like a GMT bezel. And the scope of this is that you can actually track your timing here. If you put it here at 50, for example, you can know exactly when 50 minutes have passed. And this is used by the Nationale to track their missions underwater. So I think this is also an interesting change compared to the normal Pelagos and the type of bezel that it was, you know, part of it. But the other thing is the type of color. I wouldn't change for anything my old Pelagos. I think the tone that they have managed to obtain on the ceramic and the dial, this purplish blue, is fantastic. But the tone of dark navy blue that they have done in this FXD, it's also superb. Definitely for another occasion, definitely for another purpose. And I think that really, really puts into comparison the quality, the type of spirit that Tudor is putting. And then obviously you have the smaller brother, the 58 blue, which with a nice bezel, definitely a nice strap. It's one of those watches that I like having, but I don't like wearing much because for me it's too small. So it's perfect for a smaller wrist, and you can see how small it is compared to them. But I think there is some space in the collection for the three of them. And I think this is a very interesting point for someone that has a bigger collection, that even has already the normal Pelagos. The more time you have it, you can see here the clean dial, that no date, totally, you know, utilitarian dial of the new Pelagos. The less words in the dial, obviously there is one line less. It makes it a totally different watch, and the more time I have both of them at hand, I realize how different they are and yet how similar in some aspects. So, guys, I really hope that you like this video. I really hope that if you like it, obviously, leave your comments. Tell me what you think. I know I have a disease. I'm not normal having 3 blue Tudor watches. So please jump over that. And I don't know, just tell me your opinions, your point of views, what you think of the watch. And we will see each other in the next video. So hopefully we can have a depth discussion on other topics then. So until then, really take care and be healthy. Bye-bye.